This is crazy. Look at this. Just in a couple of days. I should go check the scale. Something happened the other night. I'm not sure what. But after that timeline thing, I laid down and it felt like something just let go in my head in a few places. One was probably about here, another one about here, and over here, and then on the very back of my head. And it just felt like all this stuff let go. When I was explaining the day before that, where all the fluid was starting to go through my brain, and then I started feeling like a waterfall feeling in my back, and it almost felt like chunks of stuff letting go. Not huge chunks, but things just letting go, and I could feel sensations of just places where they'd feel like almost like knots. So then I added tension and my mind thinking to the place where it would hurt or feel tender, I guess is the word, tender. And then I would, if I felt a few places, I kind of, like if there was 3 places, I'd kind of create like a triad of tension and vibration. And I could feel it vibrate. You know, when you put tension and vibration, or you hold something for a while, it starts to vibrate. So it was doing that as I was laying down. I did it for a couple of hours, actually, in all these places that I was feeling things let go, like I was assisting it, even into my belly fat, like my lower belly. I would make my mind choose areas in my stomach to, you know, and then I could feel it like almost vibrating, 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 vibrating. And I could feel it almost like disintegrating. Um, so, and then there were some places in the back of my shoulders, in between my shoulders, where I've had the most pain in my last 2 years. And in my hips and where else? Some places under my rib cage, um, in that pancreas area, in my organs. So yeah, it's just been, it's crazy. And then I just keep doing that. I started assisting the pain spots uh, with a crystal. I've been doing that for quite some time now. With a Vogel crystal, with, you know, the kind that have a really good point on them, and I used to stick those under there. And then I was sleeping with these big crystals underneath my shoulders where they hurt the most for a while as well. Maybe they're starting to kick in with the Brahma Amla, Bhumi Amla, and the Moringa powder. That's starting to loosen up everything in my body, and now I'm using my mind, like Joe Dispenza says in his book, Becoming Supernatural, trying to get rid of all this stuff. You know, somewhere in my computer, I took some pictures of a year ago where I was really heavy, and I was quite disgusted in myself, but it was like there's nothing I was able to do. So my mind just said, okay, well, vibration crystals, and try to find something that can help you. And eventually it led to the Bhumi Alma and the Moringa mix. Excuse me. Yeah, and if you look up some YouTube videos on those 2 powders, you'll see what they do. I've found they work amazing, especially for women. The Moringa and the Bhumi Alma works really good for stomach problems. And another thing I noticed too with the stomach things, like for a while it almost felt like I had creatures in my body, or little, almost like little leeches or something. They're all little energy things, or little energy pockets, I guess, or I don't know how to use analogies. Analogies get me in trouble. But they kind of, or little, for a while it almost felt like a bees going through my body. Like a bee, you know, a swarm of bees going through my body in these patterns, starting from my right foot and going, making my knee pop, making my elbow pop, making my wrist pop. Really weird, freaky things my body was doing. I didn't even know this body anymore. I've never felt these things in the last 2 years as I had. And this weirdness going on in my chest, and pressure in between my two shoulder blades, always feeling like a burning sensation, like someone put a hot red poker in my back. And then this always this weird feeling and pain from up here that would go into my eye. My eye would just feel like, I don't know, really hurting, into my nose here, and then it go down into here, the little spot here, and go into this shoulder, then over into this shoulder, and a lot of pain between the two shoulders. And then it would go down into this chest area on the left, and then down into my right hip, and then to my left hip, or ovaries maybe, and then down into my right knee and into my tarsal tunnel. And you remember I had a tarsal tunnel problem in 2018 that I repaired in 2020 with my TENS machine, but still my baby toe always would sometimes go numb. Now it seems really good. I remember putting crystals on all my toes and making my baby toe vibrate with the Vogel crystal until, like, so much and so excruciatingly painful. But I said, you know, I'm all or nothing. You know, I can't take this anymore. But it's not bad energy. One thing about crystals is it's almost like an electric energy, but it's got to be better than a TENS machine putting in an electrical charge, or like that acupuncture pen I was using a while back. That helped too. But I didn't like the idea of the electricity charge going in my body. I mean, some people do cool things to get parasites and stuff out of their body by making an elixir with a colloidal silver, and then they'll put a very minute electrical charge in little clamps and hold it in with their fingers to send a surge through their body. But you know, I don't know about that. I just know crystals are pure energy. You know, it's a clean, pure energy, and it's only going to get rid of bad things and always be on a high, good vibration. And the other thing I've been doing is rifes, but I haven't been doing the rifes for a little while. The rifes were keeping me out of pain. Every night I'd be in excruciating pain, and I would do the rifes to try to help my body, and it would allow me to sleep at night. And then, of course, it's starting, by the end of the next day, I was in pain and do the rifes again. They were a lifesaver and helped tie me over. And what the rifes did too, if I picked a rife for a certain organ or shoulder, or like the, what was it called? The levitator, and the a few other words, you know, especially I didn't know the way the body functioned perfectly, and I didn't know some of the names of the things that like esophagus. That was another thing. My esophagus was out of whack. So by using the rifes and feeling where the vibration of the rife was targeting in my body, that would train my mind to be able to, almost like an eye or an extension of me, to go to that spot and hold those tension points. So that was the good thing about the rifes, is to learn how to move through the body with my mind's eye, I guess, and go to those spots and then use my body's ability to like focus in that spot. And then you see like, then I put tension there with my body, feeling with that spot. And then I can, oh, there was a pop. Now I know how to release these things. So the rifes helped me learn how to think through my body and help release some of my pain, especially all those little vertebrates, little parts. Well, you know, like a chicken neck, when you cook a turkey or whatever, you see that they got all those little things in their neck. Well, I'm sure we have structures similar in our neck, and in between all those vertebrates could be buildup of inflammation, parasites, and who knows what. But if eventually you learn what the names of all these things are, you can find a rife for every, like all the C's. All my C's are messed up and from the osteopenia in my neck, and my L5 in my back. Yeah, and then because the L5 is messed up, the L4 and 6 are a little messed up from taking the brunt too. So I started, once I knew what the names of these things were, and then I'd get a rife for them. And there was a video channel on YouTube where the guy actually targeted each vertebrae by name, from the C's to the TH's and the L's. And if you know which one, you could type it in. The channel was called Life is Beautiful. And then some other channels that I like is Spooky 2 Rifes, and what's the other one? Yeah, I can't remember right now. There's a couple good ones. I've posted them a few times. Quasi, I think it was, one started with a Q. Yeah, I can't remember. And anyways, but I've been focusing lately on Spooky 2 and Life is Beautiful for the since Christmas, until February, when I started the Bruma Alma, I'm probably saying it wrong, and the Moringa. But since the concoction mix and then doing the parasite cleanse, now I've just been doing myself, from my experience of the rifes, memory of location and tension, and with the crystals, knowing how to recreate that feeling of the vibration of the crystals so that I can rely only on me. I mean, if I was stuck on an island with nothing and I had to cure myself or help myself, I now know how to recreate that feeling. Almost like, this is going to sound crazy, when you're young, when you're a teenager, maybe you did like an acid trip or mushrooms or something. You can recreate that experience in your brain just from the memory of what it felt like, and then go into a lucid dream state, or go into a transcendental state, remembering what that felt like, the different symptoms and things that you felt occurring when you were doing sleep, whatever, suicide or whatever. But just like if you can remember the sensation of a heating pad under your back, maybe you can create, well, you can create a heat in a certain area in your body. The mind is incredible. It's an amazing thing. I mean, from this getting away from life's distraction, forced to with pain, I had a lot of time to work on thinking and feeling through my body, and self-talking, and learning about anatomy. And the more you learn about how, I figured too, another thing through the rifes, then while I was doing the rifes, because you gotta sit there and listen to the rife, I would look up the shoulder and figure out, well, okay, what does it do? How does it operate? Once I'm reading about it, I know my body subconsciously knows how to operate, but if it helps if I know how it operates, because then maybe I can help assist it. If it's and then another thing is, maybe the body starts compensating or redirecting. Everything's like a system and a network. So if something's blocked, maybe the body, it's like a river. If it can't get through with a rock blocking one spot, then it starts to find a path through another way. So maybe it got lazy. I don't know. But if I know how the shoulder properly works, is supposed to be, I know all the parts of it, I even know the names, maybe I tap into the greater consciousness, or trigger memories in my body, or something, and it'll start working properly. Or maybe I'll dream about it while I'm sleeping, and my body will go, oh neat, I'll go back and do that again, or whatever. Who knows? I don't know. I just know that the universe is amazing and mysterious, and wonderful things happen all the time. And so why not in my body? My body is also a vessel, a universe. It's a universe of universes. There's so many organisms of organisms going on in this body, just like the universe and the planets and all that cool Milky Way and everything going on out there. I'm just a smaller version of that in my brain. Even in my eye. I mean, my eye is probably a really incredible thing. So I just go around in my mind and start tweaking these things. It's the only, I mean, especially when you got as sick as I did, you'll try anything. You will start going, hey, well, it can't hurt, so let's try to think, like, let's put a crystal on cheekbone and vibrate it, and maybe there's something going on there. I feel a little pain, or maybe I'll just think about the cheekbone and pinpoint that with my mind and put tension, and boom, release. Like they say about the naughties, or even you get knots in your back from working hard. Usually they use a thumb or something to push, and then it trembles and gets the knot out. So I've been kind of doing that with my mind, using parts of my body to put pressure on things inside of me to release them. And yeah, and the more I'm releasing, the more my body's letting go. Maybe they say old stress creates disease. So all this stress in my body, every day I'm feeling looser. I can move. I couldn't even turn my neck. Like for a while there I wasn't driving, and I was thinking, gee, if I had to drive, I could only turn my neck this far. Now I can spin it around. I mean, you still hear that crunch. I mean, you got to work on it all the time, because it keeps wanting to go back the way it was. Even in my mind, behind my neck. Now I stick my head at night back against the wall, and I pull to pull the vertebrates up and stretch them. I'm always stretching. That is one thing. Yeah, I may complain about labor and work, but you can go to a gym too. But stretching or walking, using parts of the body that you don't normally use, stretching the neck before you go to sleep, because everything seems to be up in the neck. And you think, oh, my leg's sore, or my hip sore, or my whatever sore, my shoulder on the top sore, but a lot of it is probably up in your neck, or it could be in a vertebrae. And when you move around and pull up on those spots, you'll usually feel a spot in the neck and in the spot where it's hurting, and you could, oh, it's there, okay. And then you can even just use your thumb or something to give pressure. You can also put up like some kind of strap from the ceiling, and then put your head in it, or get one of those little head, what's it called? I can't remember. I have a couple of devices that I use that have really helped stretch out my neck. And anyways, this is my rant today. If it helps you, that's great. But it's really important to stretch, and and another thing I've been doing lately too, because I'm taking that good powder and stuff, and I got this compost toilet for $200. And one thing about compost I noticed is that's another reason I wanted to do a little bit more vegetarian lately, just eat chicken, I guess. But is that I want my compost toilet to run properly without any red meat products and stuff like that in there, because compost does better probably with like a compost pile does better with vegetable scraps, natural stuff. Doesn't like meat, fats, and all that. It ruins the compost pile. So for my compost toilet that I got off Kijiji for $200, that was an awesome deal, and I painted it black. It's super good. Um, it's a Sunmar one. I don't know if you saw that. I didn't really see if the camera worked or not. So I decided, oh, and for my weight loss, the moringa and ruma alma have assisted in weight loss, also getting everything moving. When the things are blocked, you don't metabolize properly. The gut doesn't move. Everything just starts to. It's almost like who knows? Maybe your intestines start to build with leftover stuff. It's not all coming out. Bile, too much. Like bile's good, but maybe you got lots of bile. I'm not sure, and then that leads to kidney problems and stones and all kinds of funky stuff. So the more you clean your body out, the better. I'm no doctor or anything like that. I'm just talking about my own experience and if you're feeling these things, well, this is what I tried. Maybe, it's just using your mind and using some natural powdered product. I wouldn't even say using nature that's packaged. So, that's my disclaimer. It's all up to you. It's no different eating green vegetables, but different trees and stuff have different functions and ingredients and uses. There's a science, I guess. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll be like Fleur Brune and say I'm crazy and don't listen to me, and that way I don't get in trouble with any of these YouTube things or medical professions. But I will say I've been through that whole circus of going through all those kind of sources and people and channels, and it got me nowhere, but just wasted my time and maybe detained what I would have done naturally, and put me on stuff that I shouldn't have even been on. Was told by one that this and another, you were misdiagnosed and that's not even right and you shouldn't have even been on that. But so anyways, long story short, trying some of these good powders that are all natural greens. I think, well, I was naturally born, so I should be putting natural things in my body. I know I smoke, but I smoke natural tobacco. I order it from Leaf Only. It doesn't have additives. Everything in moderation. But the thing is, and nobody's perfect. I could have worse habits. But what I've been doing to also add with weight loss and cleansing and feeling good is I've been going to the wholesale club and buying bags of carrots and broccoli and cauliflower and I don't know what else is in there. They're not pretty good priced and you get a good quantity, so I can snack on those with some ranch dressing, a handful every a couple times a day is all I really need. And then I make this nice big soup. I use a chicken broth and I dump a bag of those vegetables in there. I'll add some rice, or rice is better for the stomach, and no gluten. So then I'll add in lots of garlic, some pepper, and a little bit of Himalayan salt, and onions and celery, and some Chinese cabbage, and a baby cabbage. And man, that soup is so good. It tastes like, if you like Chinese food, it seems to taste like a chicken chop suey, but you can add a little soy sauce in there if you want it and change the flavor. Like, I make a big pot and then every day I'll change the flavor a little bit so it doesn't get boring. I'll add some soy sauce. I've even added in some sesame seed oil. Yeah, it's so delicious. I'd rather have that than any other junk food out there. My body feels amazing and that's helping too. But even before I did the soup thing in the last couple weeks, I was feeling better with the powders already. I just want to keep improving, and I notice my head feels so much better. There's still some crunching in my neck. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm hoping all that will start going away. I can feel, I even felt things leaving my face. Like, yeah, who knows what's been going on with me, but all I know is it's getting better. I feel better. Bruma Alma and Moringa together also took away brain fog. I started those, I think it was February 28th, because I was just at my wit's end. I ordered them a month before, because like I said, after that near collapse, and took 10 days. I slept off and on for 10 days, just give my body a rest in December. And then I started researching. There's got to be some herbal medicine out there that can help my situation, my symptoms. And then I ordered it. It took a month for the Bruma Alma to come in. The Moringa came right away. You know, it's, I guess from India, it takes longer. But as soon as I started that February 28th, I noticed within 3 days an improvement. Yeah, everything was improving because everything was blocking. And the worst was where I was getting chest pains. Like a chest, not a pressure, but just always like a pulling feeling. It was pulling between my shoulders. It was like something was trying to travel through. Maybe this stuff is cleaning out my arteries. I'm not sure. But yeah, go research the stuff. I did another video about it. And I should get more technical, but the thing is, I don't want to come off as somebody who knows something about something and get myself in trouble with you know, everything that seems to have this kind of like Earth, you know, with the kings and the queens. I mean, it was all a free world at one time, and someone decided to put claims on things, and now we have to jump through hoops just to do what I don't know, the Creator gave us naturally to be able to utilize to live. Now you can't even step on land, or you know, you gotta pay for water, for Christ's sakes. Like, you know, this is where I get upset about some stuff in this world. You know, it's just crazy. You know, another thing is purifying water with shungite, and or getting a filtration system, a charcoal or whatever, to clean your water up. Water is super important too, and if you can grow a garden this year. Well, I can't believe it that one year on my balcony at my apartment I grew lettuce and tomatoes, and they tasted so different than any produce I've purchased in the store. I could even feel a tingling vibration on my tongue when I bit into the lettuce. And when I swallowed it and eating it, I could feel the tingling feeling of the lettuce going into my body. I mean, that food was alive. I was like, whoa, this is awesome. And it felt like it was happy to give me more life. Yeah, so if you can, grow some, even a container garden of some tomatoes. It doesn't take much dirt to grow some lettuce. I didn't have a lot of space on my deck, but I had quite a bit of stuff growing out there. And I was able to have a salad a day. Any choices, alternative choices you can make that are more natural or bitter, if you can. But you know, you still gotta put some things in your body. It's just asking yourself, is this gonna make me feel good? I think before you put anything in your mouth, you should ask yourself, is this gonna make me fat? Is this gonna make me feel good? Is this going to give me energy or make me feel lethargic and tired out. If we ask ourselves a question before we do anything, it kind of makes us think for a bit. And don't get me wrong, I love cheesecake and stuff. I mean, yeah, I'll still ask that question, and I'll go, even from the question, will it make me fat? Will it make me feel good? Or is it good for my body? I'll say to myself, okay, yeah, good question. Yeah, I haven't had cheesecake in 6 months. I haven't eaten any other bad things. Yeah, I can have this one piece of cheesecake. It just helps you think, think to yourself, do you really want to do this? Kind of like anything else. You walk down to the beach, you step in the water, it's a little cold, and you ask yourself before you go in, do I really want to go in there? And if we do that with our food intake and things we put in our mouth, then maybe that helps make our body better too. Anyways, that's my video and talk for today. Longest one so far. Have a great day, and to your health, and metal. Metal.